Good day, you beautiful brave hearts. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and we're going to talk about something where there's a lot of confusion behind this, and I'm not going to water it down, and that would be water. I want to talk about water because water's so important, okay? You have to understand that, your blood is mainly water, okay? Your body is 70 to 80% water, okay? And the reality is, it's not just about water, it's about hydration, and people do not understand it at all. Now, let's talk about water, the different types of water first. I want to talk about something. There was a gentleman by the name of Norman Walker, and Norman Walker was a whole plant-based eater, vegetarian, and he used to do a lot of juicing, and he used to drink distilled water. Now, very smart man, lived many years ago, but the reality is distilled water is not water that is natural. And understand something right now, distilled water is so hard to digest. And understand, oh, we forgot something, didn't we? And that's this, that even water has to be digested by the human body. And do you know what that means? That means the human body must structure all liquids that come into the body, which means reducing the surface tension enough that it will actually go into your cells. Now, do you think that you know about water? Do you think that most nutritionalists or people in the natural health industry understand water? Do you understand why when rainwater comes down, everything jumps for joy? And it doesn't have to rain that long, does it? And you can tell everything jumps for joy. It brings life. Now, how is that it brings life to everything when we've got little Billy just spewing his chemicals across the skies? Okay, heavy metal, graphene poisoning, and that's what it is. And before he started that, we had acid rain. So now we got acid rain, and now we got the chemtrails. And the reality is, think about this. Think about how magical that this is, that the creator of all things knew that there was people like little Billy that was going to spew his chemicals, and corporations that want to blame the world's toxicity on the average majority of the population when they're doing all the polluting. Isn't that something? Okay? And remember something, it's not the government that rules the world, it's corporations that rule the world. Now here's the deal. So now we know that there's a lot of toxicity in the skies. We know that when it rains, it's not just acid rain, but we've got all of this other stuff that's coming down as well. Now, why is it that in the last 500 years, the crops still grow the same? The birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees, the microorganisms are not being damaged by the chemical poisoning that's happening to the water that's coming down that we call rain. That's because of this, okay? It's because of the atmosphere up in the ozone layer. Guess what happens? The water actually gets turned into structured water. That means that even though we might have heavy metal poisoning, chemical poisoning, and other things going on in the water, when you structure water, you are protected from it. Do you know that there are 5 states in the United States that it is illegal to actually collect rainwater? Does anybody know why? Because there's not enough? Really? No, because rainwater structures water and it hydrates and it heals. That's why. And when you drink rainwater, which is structured, you are not taking in the heavy metal poisoning or the chemicals or anything else that's harmful. That's what structuring does. So understand that frequency supersedes the material world. So I'm saying that I take my structure unit, this is the structure unit, okay, this thing is less than $300. I'll give you a 90-day money-back guarantee, not from the time we ship it, but by the time you get it, and you can return it, and you don't have, I won't ask you any questions. If you want to tell me why you didn't want it, that's fine. If you don't, just return it. And I'm going to give you 90 days because I'm going to tell you something. A structured water unit doesn't run on batteries, doesn't run on electricity, never breaks down. It will be in your inheritance when you give it to your children. And I'm telling you, that's how long it'll last. It's under $300, and guess what happens? When you actually put any liquid through a portable structure unit, okay, or you could put it through a filter. This is a big pool filter, but we have smaller ones for under the counter for the house. And then we're going to talk about something else in a few minutes. When you put water through, okay, it doesn't filter out anything, but when you put water through a structured water unit, it is protected by frequency. And understand, as Tesla said, frequency is everything. And I'm going to tell you something. When you run water through a structured water unit, you are actually creating the lowest surface tension of the water. Now, let me explain something to you. So when you run water through a structured water unit, you have created a frequency within the water. So now what happens is, when you do that and you drink structured water, when it goes into the body, the frequency that's now in the water droplet, now a water droplet has 2,500 to 3,000 layers. That's what makes up a water droplet. Did you know that? Layers, isn't that cool? So now what happens when you've got the structured water frequency in the actual water, in the droplet, when it goes in, every cell has called an aquaporin channel. Now what happens is, with an aquaporin channel, it is giving off a frequency, the structured water droplet is giving off a frequency, and guess what happens? That water droplet that has 2,500 to 3,000 layers, soon as it matches the frequency coming off the aquaporin channel that's in every cell, it will actually stretch itself out like a choo-choo train and travel at the speed of light into your cells. Now that's the difference between structured water and distilled water and reverse osmosis, carbon filtered, and even your Kangen water. So structured water is first and foremost before anything else. I don't care how much money you spent, how many different filters are on there, what they say they did to it. So most people are saying, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. Almost anybody can afford a structured water unit, okay? All right, and that's a portable you can carry with you. You can run every liquid through this. And I'm going to tell you other things that it'll do as well. I'm only telling you this because guess what? Water is the most important food that you take in, second to oxygen, correct? The air that you breathe. Okay, so now what happens when we structure the water is we lower the surface tension. Your absorption of structured water is 1,000% greater into your cells, which means it's going to carry the nutrition in, and it's going to also load itself up and bring the toxins out more efficiently. Now, how many of you people realize that if you drink distilled water, I guarantee if you took an 8-ounce glass of distilled water, your tummy's going to feel full. And that's because the surface tension is not very high on it. So the friction, the energy that it would take to structure it. Remember, all liquids have to get structured. Doesn't matter what you take into your body, it has to be structured to go into the cells. Now, if I already structure all my liquids coming in, how much energy do I save? Now, do you think that we should drink structured water now, or should we drink distilled? Well, distilled water, you have to digest it and make it into structured water, and it takes so much energy. So guess what? Your water's not going to get down to your cells. That means you're not going to carry the nutrition to the cells, which is the most important place for it to go to, because the transportation system doesn't work well. So let's talk about reverse osmosis. Same thing. We're talking about dead water, okay, and it doesn't hydrate. Distilled water doesn't hydrate. Reverse osmosis doesn't hydrate. Only structured water hydrates, and to the percentage that it does. But understand, I'm going to get into this more, because guess what? Being structured is not enough. Because whether you believe it or not, the main key to really lock it in is having what? Electrolytes. And what are electrolytes, everybody? Electrolytes are highly charged minerals, trace minerals. I'm going to talk about a product that I have, and it's called Beyond Ormus Minerals, and it's an electrolyte drink. We have third-party tests that show that our trace minerals, beyond ormus electrolyte minerals, have the highest electrical charge of any minerals that are created. And it's also an ormus. And ormus minerals, actually, they will work on your emotional or etheric part of your body. And if you look up ormus, you'll understand what I'm talking about is a real science. So they're not just the highest electrical charge of trace minerals on the planet that we know of, but also they're ormus, so it works on the emotional part of the body. So let me just tell you right now, distilled water is not drinkable unless you're going to structure it. And then, of course, there's no nutrition in it. It's totally dead. So you have to add the electrolyte minerals. Now, if you're going to get reverse osmosis, it's the same thing. Understand, drink all the water you want, but you're not hydrating. That's impossible. And then let's take a look at carbon filtered water. Well, carbon filtered water, you know what? If I was going to do a carbon filter, it wouldn't be charcoal. It would be coconut charcoal. And that's what I have under my sink in my house. But in my house, I have a big structure water unit for the house. I've got one for the pool. And understand something. We don't have to filter the whole house water. You know, if you want to filter your water, which when I travel, you can believe it or not, Lori and I will just travel with this. And whether we're in an airport or whether in a hotel, Airbnb, we put it right under the tap. And now what you're going to say to me is you're going to go, well, Dr. Wolfe, you're not very smart, are you? And I'm going to tell you something, that it doesn't matter what's in the water. Once you structure it, you're protected. And take a look at Dr. Gerald Pollack's work out of Washington State University, and you'll find out that this is called fourth phase water, and this is actually a science. And I already proved it to you with the rain. I mean, with the rain coming down with so many chemicals and so much heavy metals in it, and it's not hurting the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees, or the microorganisms, and I'm right about this. So understand, everybody believes it's got to be really complicated, it's got to be really expensive, but I'm telling you that it can be just this simple. So now you're going to tell me, well, I got ozonated water. Well, ozonated water doesn't last. Ozonated water is oxygen on emission, and it will purify the water. And if you drink it right away, the ozone is oxygen on emission, so it will neutralize bad bacteria. It's not going to neutralize a virus. It might disturb maybe some mold or fungus in you but the reality is just know that ozonated water, and when you buy a bottle of water and it says ozonated water, there's no ozone in it anymore. So that's what they use to purify it. So don't think that the ozone's there, okay? And anybody that drinks smart water, that's just distilled water. It's not too smart to drink distilled water. We already talked about that. It's not too smart to drink osmotic water either. And then you're going to tell me, well, you know what? When I do a water fast, okay, these are Tesla glasses, guys. I don't want to keep my eyes open to all this blue light for too long. So anyways, then you're going to tell me that when you do distilled water, reverse osmosis water, it detoxifies you because it's empty. And I'm going to tell you that's not even true. That somebody made that up. That's not even scientific. So when you want to actually detoxify your body, or when you want to do a water fast, the only water to do is structured water unit, lowest surface tension, hydrates 1,000% better than any other water. And then let's take a look at really what structured water is all about. Rafa, can you bring the slide up, please? Okay, so let's take a look. First thing is, structured water eliminates blue light and 5G frequencies from all body fluids. Now, bring the camera on me, please. Thank you. Now, this is really important that you understand this. The only water on the planet that actually eliminates 5G and blue light, negative frequencies, and free radicals from your body fluids. Do you know how big that is? Because most of you don't realize that blue light is more toxic than 5G, and blue light is the reason why most people can't gain weight or lose weight, the reason why most people are on bioidentical hormones, why most people are exhausted, fatigued, and it's one of the main causes of all turbo cancers and diseases. And you can blame the V, yes, it's part of it, but blue light takes the cake. Where blue light poisoned, okay? From our phones to the computers to the LED lighting to the lights on cars in our eyes at nighttime to the malls to the offices to the iPads to going to a movie. I mean, seriously, look at the time that we spend, and we know that after only 3 minutes for an adult, you're already doing brain damage. Think about it. How many people don't have Tesla eyewear and you know, most people will actually go buy blue blockers. Who in the heck wants to block? You know, there's some people on there right now that are advertising, take this blue blocker during the day and then this blue blocker at night. The only thing that actually works is Tesla Lightwear. Take a look on my website, and I'm telling you, you've never had anything like this. Your headaches go away, the tension goes away, and understand something. Now you're not packing all that blue light poison and 5G that would be hitting your eyes into your bloodstream and all your other bodily fluids. And understand something. America's going down because of blue light. You know, 5,000 children, teenagers that is, are diagnosed every day with cataracts. You let that sink in. And know this, that 95 to 96% of all eye disorders and even brain dysfunction is coming from blue light, and nobody's even talking about it. And then people are drinking water that's not hydrating. And understand, I just told you, the only water that has been scientifically proven to get rid of blue light, okay, toxicity and 5G toxicity out of the body is actually from structured water. All right, so I think that's a big deal. You look at, so structured water hydrates 1,000% better than any other water. Okay, if a mosquito walks on structured water, it'll fall through. And it's all about surface tension, how easy it brings nutrition in and how it can load up. And I'm going to get into some other things too with you. It will protect you against bacteria, viruses, mold, chemicals, and metals, heavy metals. It protects without filtering. Did you get that? You need to get this. And I know it's going to be hard for you to wrap your head around it. Restores water to its natural state. Okay, so the only water that is actually structured is rainwater, fast-moving rivers, and waterfalls. So if you can find water coming down off a mountain and it's spring water coming down off a mountain, that is probably the best water you'll ever drink. And that is structured water. And that is mineralized water, but it might be just rock minerals. And understand everything, everyone. When you go to buy your bottled water and it says it's mineralized, well, it's mineralized with rocks. I hope you know that you have rocks in your head if you actually think that these minerals are going in and making you healthy. You got rocks in your head. Understand, it's not you. You know what? You can get away with saying anything if you're a corporation. I will never lie to you. And if I happen to say something and I'm incorrect, I will correct it. But understand something. Corporations are getting away with you know what, okay? Now, structured water creates the lowest surface tension in all water, okay? Holds more light, are you ready? Structured water will hold more light energy than any other water. Supports the immune system more than any other water. Increases nutrient absorption and hydration, circulation, and detoxification. Reduces inflammation and swelling, and relieves sunburns. And I know people don't really believe this, but actually structured water, if you take a structured water shower, okay, or you drink structured water, okay, and you've got a sunburn, it's going to help to take that radiation away, all right? So what I want to do right now, okay, I'm going to come back, we're going to talk about a few other things, but what I want to do right now is I want to play a video for you, and just before I do, this is called a structured water unit. So if you told me, okay, Dr. Wolfe, okay, I don't have a lot of money, I would tell you that you could get a structured water unit to shower in, and then you could actually run your water through this structure unit and you can drink this water. And if you can't afford to buy a portable, if you can't afford to buy an under-counter little structure unit or a house unit, okay, you want to get a shower unit because most of us shower. And can I say something? You're not going to believe this. I know you're not. But if you have children and they're going to have a bath, you can fill up the bathtub with regular water, poison water, whether it's chlorine and fluoride in it. The reality is this: if you turn on your shower head for just 1 minute and you run that water into that bathtub water, it'll structure the whole bathtub, and your children will not be poisoned by chlorine or by the fluoride if it's in there. They will not. I'm telling you, they won't. And I can prove it. You know what? I'll prove it to you in a second. You can swim underwater in a pool after you've just taken a structure unit and put it up against the water jet that comes into the pool. You put this up against it, and depending on the size of the pool, if it's smaller, 1 minute. If it's an Olympic pool, 3 minutes will structure the whole pool. I know you think I'm crazy, but it's called the ripple effect of energy, which most people do not understand, but Tesla understood it. Okay? So let's get back to the shower. So I'm going to let a doctor talk about what's happening when you're showering, and understand, everyone, go ahead, go buy a filter that filters the water in your shower. And do you know how many gallons you are asking for that little shower head carbon filter to actually purify? Every time you take a shower, it's going to be working worse. And all that chemical and all that poison is going to be in here. And whether you believe it or not, you're going to be taking it into the skin. And remember something, your skin is your largest detox organ. And understand this, when you're taking a warm to hot shower, all your pores are opening up, and the chlorine and the fluoride, if it's in there, or any other chemical that's in there, is being absorbed into your skin. Now, whether you believe it or not, this has no filter. This shower head is going to last. Structure unit is going to last your whole life. You can put your, you screw this end in to the pipe, and on this end you can put any type of shower head that you want, a pulsator, doesn't matter. And guess what? The pressure of the water is never decreased by the unit. So that's really important. You're going to have the same amount of pressure when you shower. Now, let me just play this video for you, and why don't you tell me what you think after we play this video. Rafa?
Shower and you are dizzy and nauseous, you think, oh, I showered too hot. No, you didn't. The shower head cuts open the water molecules, and the chlorine turns into gas and fills your shower and turns it into a gas chamber, a chlor gas chamber or chlorine gas chamber. But then there are 256 different chemicals found in our drinking water, including all the drugs that are used for psychosomatic treatments, psychiatric treatments, and so on. So everything that people take, they pee out. The water gets basically back into the water stream, coming back to us through the water pipe. And now we have all these medicines in there. There is even radiation in our drinking water and so on. If it comes from the government, don't trust it. Make it yourself.
Okay, so I hope you got that. So when you take a shower and you've got chlorine in there, you've now got a chlorine gas chamber. Okay, so just know this, you're taking that into your lungs and into your bloodstream. That's why you feel nauseous, that's why you feel weak, and if you really want to have dry hair, burning eyes, and itchy skin, then just go ahead and take a chlorine shower, which most people do, yes or no. Now, you don't have to believe me, but guess what? When you actually run that water through a structure unit, when it gases off, and even the chlorine gas is off, guess what? It's an 8. It's not going to bother you. Zero. That's what it's going to bother you. 0. Because frequency supersedes anything physical. All right? So understand that. I'm telling you, you will feel the difference. Your hair will feel silky. Your skin will feel silky. Your skin conditions will heal. You will not have that dry skin. But understand this, you will no longer be poisoning yourself, okay, by the chlorine gas or anything else that's in there. Now, I'm going to tell you something, and you're going to say, I don't believe you, Dr. Wolfe. Well, I wouldn't believe me either. So, unless you're going to do your research and prove things to yourself, sometimes it's just not going to work what anybody says, yes or no. So here's the deal. I can get any type of filtration and I can filter out everything out of the water. Did you hear what he said about all the drugs we take? We pee them. And how many people throw their pills into the toilet? And all the other things that go in the toilet. Did you know that if you actually filter the physical out of the water, you still have the frequency of the drug, of the chemical still in the water? You can believe this or not believe this, but you still have the vibration in the water of the people that drank the water before you. So understand that. You know what? When somebody makes your food, it transfers energy. Whatever mood they're in, did they put love into it, or were they in a pissed off mood making your food? Whether you want to believe this or not, this is the first thing to understand, that we are energy, light, frequency beings, and our frequency goes into things. And understand something, when you actually structure the water, even if you didn't filter everything out of the water, it's not going to hurt you. You go ahead and you structure you filter the physical part of it out, but the frequencies are still there. Whether you want to believe this or not, water, okay, goes from, it goes from the municipal, where they clean it with chemicals and they filter it, and goes into a toilet, okay? The water, when they clean it, goes to you, you drink it, it goes into a toilet, goes back to them, and then you drink it, goes back into a toilet, and that'll happen 13 times before the water will ever dissipate and go back up into the atmosphere to be structured. So structuring is fast-moving rivers, waterfalls, and rainwater. Or you have a structure unit, whether it's portable, whether it's in a whole home unit, a shower unit, a pool unit, under counter, or even a garden unit. So, but understand this, everyone, is that, like I said, if I was drinking and I filled up my container of structured water and I only had 1 inch of water left, if I go to the tap and I fill it with tap water, I had 1 inch of structured water left, the whole thing's structured. It's called the ripple effect. So you can believe it or not believe it, but I'm going to give you 90 days. And understand, a portable structure unit is under $300, okay? And inside of it, what you're going to find is that there's different types of crystals and gemstones and different things in here to help to create the frequency, and it's the way it's built inside. And you can go download pdgfree.com and take a look at it. So remember what I said. Just because, the whole bottled water industry is a scam. Okay? The whole thing is a scam. And remember something, everyone, just so you get this. If you want to continually buy bottled water, you better find out where the source of that water is coming from and what they're actually doing to that water. And understand this, if you're buying bottled water, there's something wrong with you. There really is. Because remember something, Pepsi and Coke signed a deal with Bill Gates approximately 2 years ago, and there's 3 more years left. And he didn't sign a deal with Pepsi to just put it in Pepsi and just to put it in Coke. He signed a deal with Pepsi and Coke to put his graphene particles, into all their drinks. We're not talking about just their Pepsi and their Coke. And by the way, just so you know, the same people that own Pepsi own Coke, and the same people that own Pepsi and Coke own McDonald's. Or the same people that own Coke, Pepsi, and McDonald's own Burger King as well. Okay? So let's just make it perfectly clear that, these aren't people that are on your side or working for you. Rafa, play the video. Oh, it is done? We ran the whole thing? Thank you. So, everyone, I just want to tell you, and let's go back to it, is this. When you drink structured water, you're going to be pulling the blue light out of you. Those of you that say you can't afford a pair of Teslas, they're about as expensive as a designer pair of sunglasses. But understand, Tesla eyewear are not blue blockers, and all those other glasses I see on there. These actually will take all 5G, all blue light, and turn it into healing. Okay? Next week, I'm going to be playing actually a blue light special for you, and I'm going to show you that I'm right. that you're taking hormones and you're taking painkillers because of blue light poisoning. You can't gain weight or lose weight because of blue light poisoning. That the worst free radical in the world is blue light poisoning. And your mood, okay, has changed and your personality has changed and you're very negative, okay? And it's not your fault, but it's blue light poisoning. It's not 5G. 5G is not great either. Every time that Lori and I go into a big city, okay, it takes 2 to 3 days and then I've got a headache. I've got a headache until I get out of the city. And so I understand. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how any of you do it. I will not ever do it. I will never, ever live in anywhere that is called a city. Never will I ever do it again. You need to start understanding something. You have been programmed to limit yourself and to limit the opportunities in your life. And I'm going to keep on teaching it. I'm going to keep on preaching it, that you have unlimited possibility when you start loving and honoring and respecting yourself. So, anyways, I've got one of these in my pool, and I'll show you my pool, and I'll show you the water in my pool. And if I were to go like this and pick up the water and drop it, it drops like silk in the air. And understand something. You can take a pool that has chlorinated water where you're actually destroying your children. Okay, you are. You know it's a poison. It's a neurotoxin. And when you put a structured water unit on it, they are not going to be poisoned at all from the chlorine that's in the pool. Now, mind you, I have a salt water pool, okay? But I have a salt water pool and I use really high quality salt because understand, it's healing in itself. So the reality is here, as I told you, is you can take like even 1 glass of water, put it into a tub of regular tap water for your children. That 1 glass will structure the whole tub. I'm telling you right now, and I'm telling you the truth. You can actually take your structured water unit, and if you're going to drink wine, because guess what? Whether you want to believe this or not, so we know that wine has 146 different chemicals in it. And we know that even if you get organic, it still has glyphosate in it. I apologize, but it really does, guys, okay? So the reality is if you're going to drink any alcohol or drink anything that is toxic or dangerous to you, because there's no alcohol that's good for you, you run it through a structure unit and you will catch a buzz quicker and you won't be poisoning your liver or your body. Well, you'll know because you're not going to have a hangover in the morning. When you structure your water, you're being protected. When you structure your alcohol, you won't have a hangover. And that means it did not damage your liver. And I'm not giving you a note so that you drink more alcohol. I'm just trying to prove to you that what I'm telling you is absolutely correct. So take a look at it because guess what? I'm going to tell you something. Water means everything. And understand this. Water that hydrates is actually structured water first. And you know what the best hydrating water is in the world? Okay? 1/16 to 1/8 of a teaspoon of black diamond, which is humic fulvic. And I carry the only humic fulvic that we don't use any chemicals to process it. We're the only ones on the market. I hope you get that. And black diamond, you don't even have to stir it. It's that high quality, that much energy in it. And black diamond will actually suck up, okay, 300 to 400% of heavy metal, of its weight in heavy metals, parasites, mold, okay, and chemicals. And it'll drop off 40 micronutrients and it will actually alkaline your blood, okay, your tissue cells and your brain cells. So that's why I put this in all my drinking water, okay? And then I put Beyond Ormus minerals. There's 92 elements in Beyond Ormus minerals. It is the most electrical charged trace mineral product on the planet, okay? So understand, it's always about minerals, isn't it? Every disease or every symptom that somebody has is a mineral deficiency, okay? So you want to know this. You're not hydrating if you're just drinking water. You are super hydrating right down to your cells if you're drinking structured water, okay, with electrolytes. And electrolytes are highly charged, trace minerals. So I want to thank you for joining me. And that is the scoop on water. Have a beautiful day, everyone. And just know that you've got the power to heal. God bless.